Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the Whole30 and my experiences of it. And I know I said I would actually try and film as much as possible during the Whole30, but you'll see why later in the video as to why I didn't do that. So basically I started the Whole30 on December the 29th. The main reason for that is because I think I was mentally ready to start sort of mid-December, but like starting before Christmas would have been really silly because I mean Christmas and like there's so much Christmas food and it's like there's really no point in like punishing yourself like that over Christmas. Yeah, so I was basically a massive sugar addict and it had been pretty bad in December. My energy levels were really low and I was just like just really not having the best of times. And so I go through phases of eating well and then binging on junk food and eating well then binging on junk food, and it was just a constant cycle. So I thought, okay, I mean, I think I read about the Whole30 on a travel blog. I remember the person who did it said that it like really did a lot for them. So I thought, okay, let me just give this a go. And I also watched a lot of YouTube videos, I read blogs, I read all kinds of things, and loads of people said that it really helped them, it changed their energy levels, and so I thought, this is what I need. So I thought, yeah, I'll give this a go. Yeah, part of it is because I wanted to like curb junk food addictions and also learn to eat more vegetables. So yeah, I started preparing. So I ordered the book and I read pretty much all of it. So this was the book. You can see I tagged all of the pages, like all the important bits. So recipes for sauces, chicken recipes, a shopping list, roasted veg, like all sorts. Like I literally went through this thing, tagged things, like yeah. I joined a Facebook group and I started posting in there. Everyone on there was like so super supportive. Everyone was doing the Whole30, everyone was preparing, people were sharing their prep tips and what they were doing for their prep days, and like yeah, it was really really good to join that Facebook group. I also had a notebook where I wrote down recipes and I made a plan for the first week and a shopping list. And I actually put up a video of my first week of shopping, but then basically right before I started I decided to read about the long-term effects, because I mean one of the common things in the book was about how you're meant to use cooking fats like duck fat and ghee, coconut oil, and these are all things I've never cooked with before, so that kind of made me a bit nervous. So I decided to read about the long-term effects of it. Basically, I read that if you follow things like paleo and Whole30 over a long period of time, you can end up with raised cholesterol. And I mean, there were so many debates online about what cholesterol levels actually mean and whether they're actually dangerous and yada yada yada. But I mean, coming from a healthcare background, raised cholesterol is just something I do not want. Yeah, I mean, I have family members who are on medication for raised cholesterol, so I mean that's just something, that's a problem I just did not want to create. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll eat the vegetables and like cut out all the stuff they say you should cut out, but I'm not going to cook with tons of fat. I still decided to eat the healthy fats, such as avocado and olive oil, but I used minimal coconut oil. I didn't use duck fat, I didn't use ghee or like anything like that, because I just thought there's no point like getting to this point where I feel good and I'm sleeping well and all the rest of it if I'm then doing like a whole different set of damage to my body. Yeah, I mean Christmas in terms of food, the Christmas period was bad, and I think it's because I knew Whole30 was coming, so I ate chocolate like it was going out of fashion basically. Yeah, day one came around and I had a splitting headache. Like I went onto the Facebook group and I posted that I started today, like everyone else was starting on January the 2nd, I started on December the 29th. And I posted that I started today and I had a splitting headache, and everyone was really encouraging and they were like, you can do this and like keep going, you got this, and like I found that so supportive. Yeah, and also because I did my food shop, on the day before I started. And I'd like made my mini plan and everything. I basically spent the entire day reading the book and like prepping and all the rest of it. And so I like the on day one I basically spent the whole day cooking, like from morning till evening. I spent the entire day cooking. And I thought, oh, it's because it's day one, like it's the first time I'm doing this, that's why it like takes that long. But no, that was the case every weekend for the whole of Whole30. Like I would try and keep my cooking to just one day of the weekend, but somehow it would spill over to the second. I'd always end up doing like a second food shop. Like I'd try and do my food shop on a Saturday, but I'd end up doing a second food shop on a Sunday. Yeah. And then I'd end up cooking some more on the Sunday, and then by the time I knew it, it was Sunday night and I was going to bed getting ready for Monday morning, and I'd done nothing but roast vegetables and cook sauces and things for the whole of the weekend. And yeah, that was yeah. And the worst part was that because I was eating vegetables, like I literally had to eat tons of vegetables to feel like I was anywhere near kind of full. So I was always buying more veg during the week and doing more cooking. So it was just a constant cycle of cooking. I was constantly roasting vegetables, and like eating out was virtually impossible. I had a couple of work events, and those were really tough. I turned down dinner invitations. I avoided going to people's houses. Yeah. So I mean, it made me kind of antisocial. And I remember saying to texting my friend back and saying like, I can't come to dinner because I need to cook all weekend and I'm doing Whole30, which is quite restrictive, so it'd be really difficult to go to dinner anyway. So yeah, that was not the best. So I kind of modified it a bit. Apart from not eating the fat, I also used rapeseed oil for roasting my veg. I mean, because I've read that you're not supposed to heat olive oil because it releases free radicals and things, and so I decided to use rapeseed oil for roasting my veg. In terms of like symptoms and stuff, I mean, I found that I was hungry like all the time. Sometimes I'd finish my lunch and then I'd go to Sainsbury's and buy like chicken or potato wedges, or I'd go to Leon and buy like the little chicken pots. Yeah, so I mean, I was just always hungry, and like I know there are carbohydrates in vegetables, but even like vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes, you're not going to get anywhere near as much carbohydrates in there as like rice or something. I was always hungry, and I'd get home and the first thing I'd want to do is eat. Like I was always thinking about when my next meal would be. I was having like my breakfast at work, and then I'd have a mini meal, then I'd have my lunch, and I'd have like sometimes I'd have a second lunch almost, or like a mini meal, and I'd get home and then I'd eat my dinner, and I was drinking peppermint tea like it was going out of fashion and downing loads of water. I mean, that's a good thing, but yeah, I was always hungry. And I think that was down to the fact that I wasn't eating the fat. I think if I had eaten all the fat that they had suggested, I wouldn't be hungry, and I realised that's probably what makes people full. But I mean, I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. Oh, I forgot to mention that I told a friend about Whole30 and asked her if she wanted to join me, and she did. So we both kind of did Whole30 together. Like she started, I think, about 6 days after me. Yeah, and so it was really good to be able to support each other. Back to symptoms, my energy was really, really low as well. Like normally when I get off the tube in the mornings, I'm rushing to get to work, so I walk up the escalator, but I couldn't do that. I just had to stand. I just did not have the energy for that. And like I play netball every Tuesday. That was pretty painful during Whole30. And like sometimes I would find myself taking buses really short distances just because I just had no energy to walk. There was a day when I was virtually ready to collapse that I got off the tube and took a bus just because it would get me closer to my house than I would if I'd stayed on the tube and got off at the station near my house. Yeah, that was not the best. So yeah, and I also had spots. And it's probably due to the fact that I was constantly roasting vegetables and constantly covering them in oil. Pretty much every week I was ready to give up, but then I think it got to about day 21 or 22, and I basically made up my mind that I was going to quit this thing. I felt like it wasn't doing me any good, and like, I mean, yeah. And I basically made up my mind that I was going to quit. I came home and I spoke to my family, and they were like, no, 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 you've got this far, see it through, see it through. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll see it through. So I decided to just carry on because I thought, okay, it's only one more week, I can do this. I decided to continue, and I finished. And I think the first thing I reintroduced was oats. That was what I really missed. I was so fed up of eating like mincemeat or chicken, or I found that like I'd eat that and I'd be hungry, and porridge keeps me full for so much longer. Anyways, I got to the end, I had my porridge, and I basically kind of, I know this isn't great, but I kind of bypassed the reintroduction phase because I had 2 events on that weekend and the food was just too good, so I just ate. Whoops. But I did my measurements and everything, and I mean, I lost less than a kilo of weight, and like all my measurements, like tummy, thighs, they all went down by maybe like a centimetre or 2. In general, I didn't experience the dramatic results that people seem to get. But I think the reason it didn't work is because I didn't eat all the fat. The whole thing with Whole30 is training your body to burn fat as fuel, and if you're not eating all the fat, then you're basically just eating vegetables and meat, and like that just does not provide enough fuel for your body. Like you need something else, like you need carbs or you need fat. Oh, also another reason I probably didn't lose so much weight is because I didn't do much exercise other than netball. I think I only did maybe 1 session of aerobics because I just did not have the energy, like, at all. Am I glad I did it? You know what, I actually am, because I managed to stick to it for 30 days, and like most of the time I can't stick to any kind of healthy eating program for longer than about 2 or 3 weeks, so making it to 30 days was like a miracle for me. And I learned loads of new recipes, and I discovered loads of new vegetables that I didn't previously like. My sugar cravings went down, so I mean, in the past week I have had some sugar, but I haven't gone out and bought it. It's always been like at the office or something like that. Yeah, in general I've been able to like just have that one portion of someone's birthday cake and only eat that portion, not go back for a second piece. Whereas before I would have gone back for a second piece or a third piece, and like I don't feel the need to go and buy chocolate or buy crisps or anything like that. Like I just haven't felt the need to do that. And also I'm not overdoing it with fruit. Fruit is good for you, and I 100% think everyone should eat fruit, but I used to find for me that sometimes I'd eat a ton of fruit, then I'd go and eat chocolate, and like fruit still has sugar in it. I haven't been eating like tons and tons of fruit like I used to. So yeah, and I do want to reintroduce fruit, but I want to feel a lot more in control of my diet and like sugar cravings and stuff first. But the weird thing is I seem to be really craving carbs, and like this might be hormonal. That's one thing that's been a bit of a concern. In terms of where I go from now, I definitely need to get this carb craving thing under control because it's just not cool. Like I cannot be eating carbs like that. I need to really get on regular exercise. I've signed up for a trial gym membership, and I've never been a gym person, so I don't know if I would actually enjoy going to the gym. Maybe I should just find like some dance classes or just something else that will be fun. I want to to like give the gym a go, because I mean, yeah, it's no harm in trying, right? I also need to redesign my diet and like really see what works for me. So I knew during Whole30 I definitely wanted to reintroduce rice, beans, lentils and oats. That was the fourth one, oats. So yeah, I knew I wanted to reintroduce all four of those. And I mean, none of them are bad foods, so yeah. I kind of need to like really plan my diet and like just kind of, I don't know, figure out a way to eat healthy and to like limit how much I eat. Because I guess that's where my problem is at the moment. I suppose that's where I go from now. Like I need to really sort out my diet. But it's 2017 and I really want this to be the year that I get this under control. And I feel like since doing Whole30, I suppose I feel a little bit more in control. And so I kind of just need to move things on, take what I've learned from Whole30 and take it to the next stage. But as for Whole30, I will not be doing it again. Absolutely not. It was a one-off and I will not be doing it again. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this rather long talky video. I will see you soon, and hope you're all having a good week. Anyways, take care and goodbye.